Welcome to another installment of Campus to Career, Work Logs. What are work logs? Well, work logs are simply what they sound like. It's a documentation of work that has been completed or work that needs to be completed. Some companies that you work for may have a work ticket system. With this work ticket system, fellow employees and colleagues will complete tickets requesting certain work to be done. You may be familiar with this in your time as a student if you needed assistance with technology and had to do a help desk ticket. When you are filling out a work ticket, it's important to be specific. What is the problem? What type of work needs to be done? I always recommend that people think like a reporter. Who, what, when, where, why, and sometimes how. Who is doing the requesting? What specifically is being requested? When does this work need to be completed by? Where is the exact work location? Why does this work need to be completed? How will it be completed? Besides work tickets, there are other types of work logs, such as safety logs. If you work in any type of plant or any area that has a lot of industrial or mechanical work, you may have safety logs where you have to log any incidents. You may have a log of work that you have to complete. Some companies do require their employees to give a time stamp of when projects have been completed. Some companies even have contact logs. This will be a log of information of who was contacted and when and why. You will especially see this in marketing and sales types of jobs. It doesn't help to continuously contact somebody if someone else has already begun a relationship with them in your company. The key to any type of log is be specific, be precise, be concise. Now, why do logs actually matter? Well, first and foremost, logs can be used to track important data for the company or the place you work. Often it becomes important to track how many hours are spent on something, especially if your company is billing for service. So logs can be used to generate bills for service. If you think about industries such as the heating and ventilation industry, even plumbing, all of those services often keep work logs where the employee has to specifically state what they have done and how long it took. This is to properly generate bills for service. Another major reason logs can be vital in companies is they can be used to identify patterns of problems that need to be resolved. A lot of mechanical and industrial type jobs will have these types of logs in order to document regularly any type of breakdowns or mechanical failures. If these are logged properly and carefully, it makes it much easier for fellow colleagues and employees to know where to focus their time and attention. What needs to be fixed? Is this a reoccurring problem? If it's a reoccurring problem, what are some ideas to resolve this problem? So what happens when you need to log information? Well, first of all, give the needed details only. This is not time to tell a very long story. You want specific details. For example, if you are perhaps logging a project and maybe each day you need to log what was accomplished on that project, you may want to use a very simplistic log where you start with the date, a period of time that an action was completed, and then what actual action was completed. The key is you want to be precise, which means to be exact, especially if you are in an industry where this information is used to generate bills. If you are a mechanic and it took you an hour and 42 minutes to fix something, you do not want to put an hour and a half, because then you're actually cheating yourself out of 12 extra minutes of work that should be appropriately billed to the customer. You want to be concise. get to the point. What was the point of logging this? For example, if your situation is, let's say that let's go back to if you're an automotive technician. If a customer brings in a car and you're working on that car, you want to be very to the point about what you fixed. The engine was repaired, what types of repairs. The last thing to remember when logging information is that logs can be legal documents, meaning that logs can be used in a court of law. It is important that in a log, because it can be a legal document, that you stick to the facts and that you leave out any type of emotion or any type of opinion. Logs should be absolute, quick, precise, concise facts. To finish up, I want you to take a moment to practice. Here's your scenario. You work for a trucking company in the logistics sector. A large delivery will arrive later than promised to an important customer. So ask yourself some questions. Why would a log be helpful in this situation? What if you're not the only employee dealing with the situation? Ask yourself, what information should be included in the log? Take a moment to practice and think that through. It's very important that in your line of work, if logs are an important part of that work, that you give them the due attention they need. Remember, when we write down, we are putting in firm documentation what has occurred. So logs are vitally important. I hope this is helpful for you in your workplace.